live episode. So
Hopefully,
episode 14.
yeah, it's 14.
Yeah.
But 14 already.
I know. We're growing. I think we have just a couple of followers. My mom happens to be one of them, so I'm grateful for the support, even though that's
Now you can see my
interesting.
face.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Oh, look, I just got a notification that said we're live. So I guess any subscribers that we have, hi guys, welcome. This is our
Welcome.
first episode live, so it's going to be interesting.
And it
So
was
bear with
very
us.
unexpected because it happened because I always used Anchor to record our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I went in to use Anchor this morning. I just used it 2 days ago, right? I go in this morning and it's called Podcasters by Spotify.
Yep, we got to go with the flow and be flexible, because technology and AI are always messing with us.
Well, y'all ain't going to shut us up, okay?
No.
Just because the link to invite, it said I could have recorded by myself, but what fun is really?
Or I could have, I was able to invite you, but then it's to my channel, which I don't have set up. And so that would have been a pain in the butt to get it to you and all of that. So anyway, this is technical 101 of figuring things out. So welcome. Oh, I can't hear you. Are you there? Oh, who's that?
That's Chase.
Hi, Chase. I've got my babies over here. Sorry, it's a little mess. But Charlie, honey, come say hi.
Hi.
There's my girls.
Yeah, our babies are always next to us.
I know, and you always hear my dogs barking in the background. So now you're gonna be.
So, anyways, this is unexpected. I didn't have my makeup on or anything. Give a crap. I threw my hair up.
I just got home from hiking too, so and I'm
I was
sunburned.
in my sports bra too because I usually just chill. I do yoga and stuff during the day, so I'm always like just ready to do that or at any given time. And so, anyways,
so let's get into it. What are we discussing today? I know you were going through a whole bunch of different topics and things that you wanted to talk about. So I'll let you lead this one, and I'll just chime in here and there whenever something piques my interest.
I just want to talk about my flag real quick that's behind me hanging here. And as you can see, it's kind of raggedy. This was my dad's flag. It was his last flag. And so because it was his last flag, I keep it behind me at all times, literally. So it's not like we were pretty patriotic. I got brought up to love my country and to love the people in it. To see no colors. I mean, these are the only colors I see. You know what I mean? We're all red, white, and blue. We're all one family. And that's why I have it there. So if anyone wondered. And I also have my other like my crystals and stuff. I always have my crystals. Look, I'm live. I can be like, look at me.
I know. Now we can actually show, what we're doing as opposed to just talking about it. So I think this is going to be good because it forced us to have to jump out of our comfort zone. And, and maybe this time we're not wearing makeup and we're not all done up, but, next time maybe we'll, and forget it. Who cares? You know what I mean? Because it's all about energy. Energy has no face. It's just, but I feel like when we're here, like I can put my hands up and you can visualize and you can see, and with crystals and all of that we can see, and so that'll help.
And
and you can see me do my bad habits too.
You can see me do my good habits. I'm always like I'm lighting sage. I'm always lighting Palo Santo. So yeah, and I won't do that yet. I don't know if it's all 18 and over, so I won't. Only because it's a little different than yours. I have a vape pen. I guess I could do that. That's fine. But anyways, at any rate, hi. This is who we are.
Hi. Welcome to our channel. And if you're here and you're watching, we are grateful for you, all of you. And if you're watching in the future, there's no time and space. So sending love to you then, now, whenever in the future.
Because it's all good. It's all a good thing. And we're really grateful. We just got feedback the other day from And now it was like that was amazing feedback that we
Mhm.
got. And and it was exactly like our what our intentions are is to help people and to be there for people
Yep.
and hopefully to inspire, or motivate or whatever it is that you need
Yeah,
at the time.
just guide, until you can come in contact with your own guide. I mean, or just to listen to us go through everything that we're going through, and so that you don't feel like you're alone on this journey. Because for me personally, waking up, I spent 2 years feeling like a crazy person because I didn't have anybody. I was reaching out to people on the internet, listening to other people, following what other people were, not following them, but following my own path, but listening, and then following people on social media, and then reading what they post and stuff, and things resonated and then other things didn't, but that kind of guided me and helped me. So it's nice to
It
have
is.
support. So we are here for anybody, and right now we're very small, so we're able to reach out to those people who contact us. But yeah, please reach out, because we love to hear it. We love to hear that that we've connected with someone. And so that's awesome. When I got that message on Facebook yesterday, I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And I tagged you in it, Joy,
Oh, that's
and I
awesome.
was like, "I knew it, I knew it." It's just that's the first little cherry on top that was like, "Whoa."
Yeah,
Even if we just touch one heart is, that's amazing to me. And I want to celebrate each and every one, each and every little heart, big heart, all over the place. We're all one. And so it's awesome.
it is. And I'm really grateful, and I wanted to start off with that gratitude
Mhm.
because it's a really high vibration. And I'm really grateful for anybody that listens to us, because it's now or in the future, and we don't know when our message is going to be heard. We don't know when someone's going to come across or spirit's going to put our video on their path. We don't know.
Yeah, or who
We know
needs to hear it at that particular moment of what we're going through, what we're talking about, and that it's a synchronicity for them because spirit led them to us, and at that particular moment and to that episode, whatever it is, whatever we're talking about resonates with them, and they're like, "Whoa," you know what I mean? So um that's one thing that I like to say is take what resonates and leave the rest. If something doesn't fit in with your path, then that's fine, because we all are on our individual journeys. And so yeah. And
exactly.
it is pouring down. I don't know if you can see that out there, but it is pouring down rain.
Is it? That's awesome. I love it. No, it's nice and sunny. In fact, it's supposed to be like 74 today. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna walk when I go pick up the kids because I want to walk before it gets too hot because then it's too hot. It's not good for us to walk that.
Yeah.
But before it gets too hot, walk as much as possible because it's awesome.
It is. I went this morning because I knew it was going to rain this afternoon. I went to this place called Pine Mountain Gold Museum, and they have like these old ruins of like this gold mine, which is really cool. And I was like standing above this gorge, like I was like, I need to step back because this could give out at any moment. It was a little scary. But I love, even if it's 20 minutes, just taking a little side road and finding a little spot that's a little cut away, and going there. And I love taking pictures of all of it so I can remember it later, because my when my memories come up on Facebook, then it's like I get to see what I was doing a year ago and then see my growth and see like
See how
how much
much far
changed.
we came. Yeah, see that. I don't really talk about that a lot because my first account was
Mm,
deleted. Like it doesn't exist. I had that account. I opened that account in 2009. Like I had that account for 13 years. And I literally had a history with that account and attachments because my
yeah.
parents died in the meantime. So there's no way I could go refriend them.
Yeah,
That's impossible. They're
I
not alive.
know. I
They're
made an account for my dad, and he's passed now, and I don't remember the password, how to get into it. I can't, like, I'm friends with him on Facebook, but and I can tag him and put pictures up, but as far as getting into the account, seeing if anybody's written him anything, I can't
yeah.
do any of that.
It's not. No, it sucks. It sucks. But yeah, because of that, I don't have a lot of attachment to my accounts. I just don't.
Yeah, I've got like 40,000 pictures in my phone alone, so yeah, I need to go through and get rid of some of them because it's a little much. But anyway, I wanted to talk to you about what you started sharing about raising the vibration and gratitude, because I had an experience this morning that was like, oh my gosh, I'm over the moon. So after I went hiking, I went to a food pantry, which I go to. We have a local food. It's called the Warehouse of Hope, and
Mm.
we it's like a warehouse, and they're very like God centered, very Christian people, and I love that for them. But what they do for the community is amazing. Um, and so they for $10 donation or free if you can't afford it, you get a grocery cart full of food. Um, so I went there, and there's people from all walks of life that go there. People that because in this day and age, we a lot of us cannot afford to go to the grocery store every week, and I definitely can't. I maybe years ago I would have been ashamed to talk about needing help, but I'm not ashamed of it. You know what I mean? Like, I need help. I need help. So I go to this food pantry. I donate $10, and it helps them to be able to get the people that are donating the food to them, because I'm sure that they have to pay that. So I get dog food. I get this food. So anyway, um, find out about your local food pantry because there are people out there willing to help.
Yep.
But anyway, so I'm on the line. I get in the line, and there's some gentlemen, a couple of people ahead of me in the line. And I hear them, and they don't know each other, and they were talking about, um, oh, I think I've seen you at the grocery store before. Did you work there? Blah blah blah. That's how it started. And then they started talking about the state of the world and how we're facing civil war and World War III and all of this stuff. And I immediately went into, like, I was gonna complain about it on a post, and then I stopped myself. And so what I started doing is I put my hands flat on the wall behind me, and I started radiating love and Reiki into the whole building, and then putting like a bubble of light all around the building, a bubble of light around myself to protect myself at the same time, but then to raise the vibration of everybody around me. And their conversation started to change. They started talking about how grateful they are for the food they're about to eat, or food they're about to get from the pantry. Then they started talking about donations to homeless people. Then they started talking about um, just like that. But at the end of the conversation that I was listening in on, I'm not eavesdropping. There's loud talking, but at the end of the conversation, they started talking about rock formations in Colorado, and I'm sitting there going, it went from Civil War and World War III conversation to talking about the earth and local natural sites that they've been to, and I'm going, how did that happen? Like, raising the vibration, it changes your world around you and helps the people around you. And so I'm looking around, and I'm sending out good vibes and love vibes and Reiki to anybody that is willing to receive, because you got to have the whole consent thing with Reiki. And so if they're willing to receive that, then I'll give that out. But I'm just literally like raising the vibration of the whole building, and then watching as this magic happens, and it's amazing to see this happening and people transforming right before my eyes. So that gives me so much gratitude in my heart to witness something like that. And so then I started thinking further than that. And I was like, I want to give Reiki to all of the food in this food warehouse so that it touches. I want to give love and light to all of the food so that it touches and heals anybody who eats. And I'm sure that they pray over the food too, which is great. But I like to put my own little, raise the vibration and the energy of everything that's there. So I was like,
Awesome.
that's pretty cool. So that's my little moment of gratitude this morning.
That's amazing. Nice work. But yeah, it's amazing because we really don't have a clue as to how many people we're affecting when we're going out in the world, just being our authentic self and hanging out.
Mhm.
Um,
When I changed like, because my first instinct was to do something negative in response, because their negativity wanted to attach to me, and I was going to continue that energy, and instead I neutralized it and then replaced it with love and then changed the whole vibration, which I was like, whoa. So it started with me. It started with me because I took that negativity and I was going to run with it, but something inside said, don't do that. No.
Exactly. Exactly. But one of the things that people, and how I was taught, I was raised that the God, source, universe is vengeful. And I want to clarify that source is not human,
Mhm.
and therefore it doesn't have the ability to be vengeful. Being vengeful is a human trait or a negative trait. And as far as the way we've been taught in religion, all right, so God doesn't punish, for our behavior. God doesn't punish us. Source doesn't punish. That's all
We
us.
we punish ourselves. I mean,
That's
if you think about abusers, who's abused us more than anybody in this entire world? It's not the person that's beat you or raped you. It's you. It's you because that person did that one time. You've done it to yourself every single day, thousands of times.
and
And it's time
it
to stop.
was my choices, that got me on the street. It was my choices, because I always had ultimatums. Unfortunately, I had, you're gonna do what I say, and you're gonna live this way if you live under my roof, and that's not how I wanted to live. So I didn't live under their roof. From the time I was like 13, 14, I started running away. You know, I chose that though. I always blamed other people, but
Mhm.
I chose that. I'm the one that made that decision to leave and not just deal with it until I was 18 and move on. Like most people can just, I don't know. I just wasn't able to do that. But I also know that I had a path that I needed to deal with, because I was also clearing karma
Mhm.
and breaking generational curses and that kind of stuff. And so that period of time, I called my dark ages, but I mean, it kind of carries on. But I call it the dark ages because I literally just put myself out in the dark, and I lived my own path and had to do my own thing. But it wasn't God's fault
Mhm.
that I was doing those things. I put myself in that position. I chose, it was my free will. See, the option was there, but it was my free will that chose that.
Mhm.
I can't blame other people and other things and God for my
Mhm.
choices.
Yeah.
Just because the option's there doesn't mean I need to choose it.
Mhm.
I chose.
Yeah. And then it just brought up a thought for me. Like my husband's version of God is kind of like Santa Claus. So
Yeah,
if you wish for something and it doesn't come true, and that's kind of how my daughter was I was talking about the other day. If you wish for something and it doesn't come true, then it's because, God is either non-existent or he doesn't care or you're
it's
not good
not
enough.
God's
And
will.
that's
It's
not how it
God's
works. That's
will.
not how it works at all. Because
Not really
there
God's will, my
no,
will.
yeah. I mean, and sometimes what we want isn't what's meant for us. Sometimes just because we want it doesn't mean that, that's going to happen. Sometimes there's something better. Or if we got what we wanted every single time, then we would be ungrateful.
I-
We have to learn gratitude and just snapping your fingers and it's showing up. You're not going to be grateful. You're going to say, "Oh, I'm the great and powerful Oz and I can just do whatever I want." No, it's not how it works. You have to put a lot of effort and work and positivity into the things if you want them to happen that way.
It's
So,
true. And I was raised the same way in religious Southern Baptist. God is basically, if you want something, pray for it.
mhm.
Don't take the action to get it
Yeah,
done.
yeah, we were
Anything
talking about that 2 days ago. You have to take the action. I mean, everything is followed with action. Being grateful, being loving, being forgiving. You have to follow that with action. You can't say "I forgive you" and then hold something over somebody's head 2 seconds later. That's not forgiving them. You
No,
know?
But also saying and apologizing for your behavior, knowing that Christianity is what is it? You're forgiven 70 times 7 or some
Oh,
stupid
I don't know. I
made
just
up.
remember growing up in a household where you go to church on Sunday, you pray for forgiveness, you go to you go, what the heck is it called?
Confession.
Confession. And you tell the priest all your sins. But then I would watch as everybody would leave the church and we'd go to ABC Liquor and then go watch football and everybody get drunk and retarded
And yell at each other
and
and
I'm going, how is this? It's Sunday, it's God's day, but let's go get fucked up. Like, I'm
as
sorry
you're
for my
pulling
language,
out of the
but
parking lot honking at the person in front of you to move. You know what I mean?
literally ABC Liquor was next to the church. Like literally we would leave church, go to the liquor store, and then like, so I'm going, this is a really weird way to, forgive me for my sins, let me go sin again. So,
That's
listen,
pretty much
I
it.
forgive I forgive the alcoholics that were my parent, not my mother, but my dad and his side of the family. That's part of what is normal for them, and it's not that anything's wrong with that for them. That's just not the life that I choose for me.
That's yeah.
And it set a bad example, definitely. So, but they're all on their own path and they have to learn their lessons in their own way, and maybe that works for them. You know what I mean? Like, who am I to judge? Maybe that works for them, but it just doesn't work for me. That just
People judged me a lot because I was not the cookie cutter person. I was oh my god, I had free will, for God's sakes, and I wanted to use it.
Yeah. No, and I didn't
I
wanna just
wanted
get
to use
drunk. I wanted to go get fucked up, and I didn't wanna be around my family to do it. So I was the black sheep because I didn't wanna hang out and drink with them. I wanted to go and,
I was the opposite.
and do other things.
My parents did not cuss. They didn't have alcohol in the house. They didn't. My dad my dad smoked cigarettes, but my mom didn't. She quit when I was really little, and but they had this facade of a perfect life, and there is no perfect life. You could
No.
just burst that bubble. I hate to burst that bubble, but literally, like, if you're comparing yourself to other people, you're comparing to the wrong. You're not here.
You're keeping up with the Joneses, but the Joneses are over there, beating their kids behind closed doors and you don't
They
know.
don't. But yeah, you don't know what they're doing. I like for mine was later on finding out about neglect. Like, I was neglect. It was neglect in my
Yeah.
family, and then of course the love was very conditional, and I was shamed, guilted into and punished into doing the right things instead of having positive reinforcement, which we discussed, which is how I choose to do things. I don't like to do the negative part. I like to do the positive part, but that's because it was done to me, and I don't want to perpetuate that. I'm here to break that cycle, and that's definitely. I don't want that for my kids. I want them to use their free will within reason, know right from what we consider right and wrong, but mostly to move from their heart center. And that actually got me, because I was going to share an excerpt. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I was
You
going to
have
read.
quite a few dog-eared there.
Actually, using this to write the 12 steps because the 12 steps, I don't know what to call them yet. I am open for suggestions because I think that the 12
I
steps
like the 12 steps to mastery, but that's just me.
or self-mastery or
Self-mastery.
ascension, I like it, but it's so limited because it's really not. It's like dealing with your trauma and just helping you set goals for yourself, let go of what you don't need to, so on and so forth. Just like the 12 steps for Alcoholics Anonymous helps them, not use or drink anymore. This is for actually ascending or leveling up or clearing the past or however you want to look at it. But I thought that this was really good. I was just going to read a little bit from it.
Okay, and who's the book by?
Okay, so it's called The Light Shall Set You Free, and it's Dr. Norma Milanovic and Dr. Shirley McCoon. And I'll put the information in the description after the live is done. I'll go back and edit the description and stuff because, yeah, I need to, because I just left. I didn't know what we were going to talk about or
Yeah,
anything.
I know. Well,
I don't
this is trial and error. We'll figure out how it works, and then
figure,
we'll
yeah,
become
because
masters of the YouTube live. You know.
now with with my podcast, I don't know, what's going on with that, and
Mhm.
maybe we'll use it separately or for my individual vent sessions and stuff. But anyways, so let me read this. So a couple pages. It's from the forward 7, and it's credo for the light workers of the world. And of course, my glasses are not for reading. Beliefs that underlie the teaching of this book and the journey for the children of light worldwide. So this resonates with me, and I wanted to share it with you because I felt that it was very relevant to our journey. And our beliefs, because we believe in Jesus, but we believe that Jesus is an ascended master. So we believe in the Gnostics, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
And
the Gnostics, the Essenes, the Cathars. That's kind of along the lines of.
that's
Um,
what are now too. So that's kind of what this goes along with. Okay. Smacked myself with my string. Okay. So beliefs that underlie the teachings of this book and the journey for the children of light worldwide. There is one creator. Love is the creative force of the universe. We are all children of one God. There is only oneness, and we are all mirrors of one another in this vast creation. Humans are radiant beings of light with unrealized power, waiting to become transformed into higher dimensional forms. Yes. We each have a higher self that is waiting to be realized and that will transform us, all of us, every single one of us. And the last one here, humans are co creators with God, and each person has been sent to earth to fulfill a mission. And I think that that is the basis, like the foundation of everything that I'm working towards. That those are my base intentions to help people. It's it's not that I want to benefit from helping people. It's that I want to help lift up people so that they can be abundant. And when we're all abundant, we're all just
yeah.
we're supporting each other energetically, whether it's financial or whatever. Um, and if it's like a trade, because I feel like that even going forward is going to be more of a payment to back to where we're trading goods and services. Um,
Bartering. Mhm.
yeah,
I mean,
because
I would prefer to live that way. You know what I mean? Like, it, I have this, you have that. I have too much of this, and you have too much of that. Let's share. You know what I mean? That to me makes more sense than to hoard toilet paper and I
we
have
have
this for me
multiple
and
homes.
none for
You have
you.
5 or 6 houses, 3 or 4 houses sitting empty, homes sitting and vacant here in the desert, rotting when
Yeah.
there's homeless people on the street. That is messed up. That's a messed up system. And the problem with the homelessness, it's not just in LA and San Bernardino, like where we live. It's everywhere. I know, and I understand that, but right now it's becoming more predominant in certain areas because the population in those areas are greater. That's all it is. It is what it is, you know. Yeah, but sharing what we have an abundance of, like you and I, we're like energy workers, so we trade off for whatever food, whatever other
I trade
service.
my art.
Or
Like you wanted to talk about starseed origins, right? So I traded off some artwork to a friend who gave me a starseed origin reading, which was great. So that's a great example of what we do with trading energetic work. So I'll get a reading from somebody, a psychic reading from somebody, and then make artwork for them, or vice versa. They'll ask for artwork, or Reiki or things like that. So my artwork comes with Reiki. I put Reiki into everything that I send out, and then my crystals too that I just mined that you got. Do you have them?
I do.
Yeah, you
Sure.
probably gonna put up, but um,
They're
yeah. So
on
I
my.
sent out three of them to three of my little star sisters, you and a couple of other friends, and so I'm so grateful when I get to do that because it's like I get to connect with you, because we're so far away from each other, but the crystals like carry the energy, so it's like we get to connect through them. You know, it's like giving you a little mini hug.
It sounds like I'm clearing for people too. Sorry. I'm constantly clearing and without realizing it, just 24/7, 24/7 job, just always doing that. I have been my entire life. It's just weird when you look back on it. Like I can look back and like memories will come that where I used intuition, where I was already using my inner guidance a lot in my life, because there were times in my life where I almost, because I put myself in some pretty bad places, trying to punish myself
Mm-hmm.
to find my way into heaven or whatever, right? So,
Yeah.
anyways, so yeah, I got myself into pretty scary predicaments where I know that I almost got trafficked. Like I was so close to being trafficked. Like one time I met a person who said he wanted to meet me at a restaurant, so I went. And my dad dropped me off, and it was at a restaurant, and the dude just kept putting his hands on me, and I felt extremely uncomfortable. And I remember thinking, like, God, I just got to get out of this place. I really just was, and I was kind of frightened, to be honest with you. And that's your inner guidance. Your spirit is telling you, fucking get the fuck out of
Oh,
there.
yeah.
If you can't ignore that, then you might be in trouble. You
That
know.
reminds me of something that I did when I was 14. Oh my gosh.
Mm.
Well, yeah, I snuck out of the window, met some guy on the internet. This was when we had AOL, like AOL, okay? So I met some old, like a 20-year-old, I think he was 20 or 22 or something. I was 14. He picks me up from outside of my grandparents' house. I snuck out the window and we drive down to the beach, and I was like, this feels weird, like I need to go home. And he's like, here's $200. He had it sitting there on center console. He like put it out, and he's like, just hang out with me. And I was like, take me home now. I was ready to get out of the fucking car and run. And then I got caught and I got in so much trouble. But thank God that something was watching me. Something was guiding me and saying, I mean, not that it was a trafficking situation, but what an idiot for a 14-year-old to do something like that. But then you put yourself in these situations. Yeah. And it's like we don't know any better. We're not raised with we're watching alcoholics and idiots, raising us. Sorry, I don't want to say idiots, but we're unhealed people. Let's go there because that's not a kind word to say idiot.
People, and they're more sick than bad. They're not really bad people. People are
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah, I think it's just ignorance, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but just spiritual um n- unknowing, unawareness. I'm trying to be more impeccable with my wording and not be so so negative with it. So I'm trying to change my view. So you guys are going to watch cuz I screw up. I say things but then I fix them, you know what I mean? Like something in me is like, "No, that let's reword that cuz that sounds better." That
Honestly,
feels better.
and that's honestly how they were behaving at the time. And honestly, that was a judgment that you made at that time, and it's not really that big of deal, to be honest with you, because I understand that. I really do.
Well, it's like I was an idiot myself, at that time. Like I was a 14-year-old rebellious, hormonal, like you had gone through so much abuse that, physical, sexual, that I didn't know what the world was made of. I didn't know whether and obviously way too trusting of people at 14 years old to get in a
Like,
car with a complete stranger and then yeah. But thank God that something watched out for me and
yeah,
you.
see, I feel like that. And then for when I was 19, I had a boyfriend that was 39, and he worked for a carny. He was a carny. Anyways, I was walking the street when I met him, so it was kind of a step, I guess, a step up. Anyways, I wasn't street walking. Oh my God, that was a horrible period of time when I learned about pimps and like how they're treated, like terms like out of pocket and things like that. Oh my God, like I can't believe I'm still alive. I can't even believe I'm still here.
I think we had to go through those
Oh my
phases of our life so that we could see that there was something more and that so we could also go back and touch other people who are going through that currently, who have gone through that in the past, and so that we can help heal
It
them
is
as well.
possible to make it through that and not ever look back. And you don't need to be ashamed of it because it's just something that we needed to go through. Don't be ashamed.
We need to look back so that we can heal it for ourselves and for the collective, because it's not just about our healing. When we heal that part of our past, we're healing that part of all of our pasts.
And what just came into my heart was we're also clearing it for the people that didn't make it, and that almost makes me want to cry. Moment of silence for the people that didn't make it, so that we can be here. And yes, I'm that sensitive. I literally, oh my God, I cry like that. Like I am literally.
You're making me tear up. See, I connect better when we're on video. So, when we're just on the podcast, you don't, I don't want to say you don't affect me, but your energy is stronger. Let's just say that.
It is. Yeah. It is. I'm very well aware of that. And I think that that's part of the reason why I've been holding back so much, because I know that like we're intense. We're super intense, so people are going to pick up on that immediately. But yeah, we literally lived through what other people didn't, so that we could help them and honor those people that didn't make it, the ones that were trafficked, and the things that happened, the horrible things that happened that are going to be coming out here, that were on the laptops. Everything on the laptops were real, guys. We didn't make up anything. We're sorry that you think we're sick and twisted and made shit up like that, but no, we didn't make any of that shit up. And once that starts hitting mainstream, like we're gonna honor those people, though. We're just gonna honor those people that didn't make it. You understand? Because we were those people in other lives too,
Well, and that's the thing that I want to bring up, is that they did not make it in their physical form. But they didn't go anywhere, because energy doesn't leave. Energy doesn't it just changes form. So even if they did not make it in their physical incarnation, that was their path. And they can find peace in that, wherever they are, wherever their energy went, whether it's in us, which I believe, I think that we're all connected, all of us, that we've all lived each other's lives parallel past. And that comes down to the oneness, is that we, when we condemn a rapist or a serial killer or a murderer, that we're actually condemning ourselves in that person, and so we're causing more separation. And so that's where the forgiveness and the oneness comes in. When we can look at the darkest of the dark and see ourselves in it, and then we can forgive it, then and then realize that there's love there. You know what I mean? That's something that we chose to go through, something that we needed to experience, for whatever reason. I'm not in that incarnation now, so I can't tell you why.
And then not perpetuate it, because usually people that are abused, and like the phrase goes, hurt people hurt people. If you weren't hurt, then you wouldn't hurt other people in that way. And so normally it's perpetuated. The abuser becomes the abusee, or the victim becomes the abuser, and we're not doing that. Mm-hmm. We're not doing
that. And I've started on that road because and I think it comes down to abusing ourselves. Like when somebody abuses us, then we start abusing ourselves, and then it becomes more easy to abuse other people. And so for myself, I was lashing out at other people. When I was very unhealed, I was angry and volatile, and I'm not saying was like I can't be that way now, because I can be, but there's a lot of unhealed wounds that need healing, that are caused by that trauma. And so if we don't work on our own healing, then we will perpetuate that. So it's not that I'm better than my abusers, it's that I'm choosing different things. I'm choosing not to live in that pain and that anguish, because it's not fun. It's not what I want to do. It has nothing to do with better than or worse than. It's that I don't enjoy that feeling, and I want to do whatever I can to stop it for myself. And if that helps future generations, then that's great. And if whatever,
it will too, because and like my mom, for instance, my mom's trauma from my grandfather was extremely horrific. He almost nearly killed her. She believes that my uncle Larry saved her at one point, because he was beating her ass so bad, and her older brother stepped in and intervened, and that was one thing that she remembered at my dad's memorial service, because my mom didn't have a memorial service because nobody cared enough to get in touch with me afterwards, which if you cared, then y'all would have been here. That's where I'm at with that. So anyway, but the thing is, my mom, she may have been neglectful, but she didn't sexually abuse me. My dad didn't sexually abuse me. They did spank me and yell at me to a point. They were very conditional with their love, etc. So it wasn't as extreme as the abuse that my mother took. So it was kind of it was cushioned with me, so that when I got it, it wasn't as, the baggage wasn't as heavy, I guess. So I wasn't perpetuating it over my kids. And so even with my two that I have now, when they were younger, I have BPD. So BPD makes it difficult at the point I was at, not now, not now at all, but at the point I was at, I was screaming, and I was just screaming at them, and I remember, like, why am I fucking screaming at them? It's really not that big a deal.
Yeah.
I need to slow down and fucking back out of it, and really just take a look at my behavior. And ever since then, I'm like, I don't really scream or yell at them. I do lose my shit sometimes yelling because they don't listen, and that's because they trust me enough to be angry with me. They know I'm not going to leave. They know I'm not going anywhere. So we have a
Look,
love.
my daughter pushes on my buttons, and I mean, anything that triggers us is showing us where we have an unhealed wound.
Yep.
So I'm grateful, and I turned it into gratitude. So it teaches me how to change. So our last episode, we talked about my daughter painting her playground with her friend and getting in big trouble. And so what did I do after we got off our last podcast? I took her when she got home and I said, you need to clean up the garage, and then I'll have a surprise for you. You're not allowed to play with your friends today, but we're going to do something productive. And so we went to Home Depot. We got those little quart size sample paints, and we painted her swing set. And she said to me, Mom, I'm not really grounded because I got a surprise and it was really good. And I love spending time with you. And I kind of need a break from my friends anyway, because I like to spend time with you, Mom. And so, I tried to explain to her, that I like to punish in a different way. It's not exactly punishment. It's teaching and rewiring the brain. So it's not about punishment. It's about, let's show you the correct way to do things. If you want to paint your treehouse, then let's paint it the right way, and let's do it together and make it fun. And we had a blast. I mean, we had so much fun. And then she got a couple of new swings for it. And she's so excited. She wants to get little curtains and little fairy lights and make it her little house outside of the house. And she's calling it her little candy land. And
Love
I
it.
love that because it gives her a place where she wants to hang out. And I said, do you want to go
So
what did I say? I said, "You wanna go somewhere for a holiday or something?" She said, "No, I just wanna hang out in my Candyland. I don't wanna go anywhere." So, we make it special, and then it doesn't cost us a dime to be here in our home, and then she has something to do. We don't have to go out. I mean, we can go hiking and go places like that don't cost a lot, but I don't need to go to a kid's place that costs $1,000,000 for her to go jump around and get, diseases from other children. Just saying. You know?
funny. But
Saying there's
yeah,
other
like,
kids that have certain things that we're not gonna talk about, if you know what
yeah,
I'm saying.
this and cults. But yeah, I'm like, I love it. So for now, like for me, like recently, I found out, because I go to counseling to deal with my grief. My phone is moving, obviously very
I'm
slowly,
all
but
over the place, so
oh,
44. I saw 4404.
I keep shrinking. I was like, why is where am I going? I'm disappearing.
Oh my
Anyways,
god. So did you see the synchronicities I had yesterday? I saw 1212, and then I had deja vu while I was driving, and then I saw 1234. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then after that I saw 111, so 111, and then I saw 222. One, all right, so 144, 222, then 333, then 344, which 44 divine goddess, and then I saw 544. And then this morning I saw 707, and I was like, okay, all right, universe, I hear you. Like, I hear you. Okay. Like, I love that, but keep it coming, Like,
All day. We get them all day long, like even just with the positive reinforcement. I saw that TikTok later on that day, just everything that we talk about seems to pop up later, like every single thing we do.
well,
Um,
one thing that I've started doing when I see a synchronicity is I'll thank my guides, my angels, my higher self, and I'll tell them that I love them. So it's a reminder to say I love you. And then they want to do it more because, they love to hear that. So
exactly.
and I love to hear I love that too because that kind of has a lot to do with like self-love and talking to your higher self and saying that I love you. When you sit in front of the mirror and say I love you, you don't have to say it to yourself if you're not comfortable with that. Say it to your higher self. So maybe not in front of the mirror if you're not at that level, but just talk to your higher self, talk to your guides and say I love you because our guides are us in different forms. So, um, you know. So yeah, but
Well,
that helps with the self-love too.
oh my God, yeah. Big time.
Sip of
Like,
water.
I know I usually it's a tiny thing because I am such a lightweight, like literally you don't understand. Like I'm like, yeah, I smoke. And they're like, oh my God. Ugh. Let me just tell you, I don't, it's not a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. I get up and I get my kids out first and then I come home and then I take care of that because usually it's because I'm in pain, my hands hurt. And until I don't really want to see a doctor, but I'm going to see a doctor on the 15th. I don't really want to go, but I have to because
Is that
I need to
psoriasis?
get it is psoriasis, yeah, and it's also psoriatic arthritis, so it's affecting my joints,
Mhm.
and that's the problem I have. And the reason I have it is because I'm out of my body all the time, and I understand that. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to talk about, dissociating. So for the past since my mom died, I'm going to say, well, before that too, because I started grieving with my mom before she died because I knew she was dying. So we have a way of doing that too, of processing while it's happening. Anyways, so I sat disassociated a lot, and I feel like that's what my mom did a lot to me too, and that's why and she was always distracted, right? Mine is dissociating, and the reason I'm dissociating is because I'm traveling out of my body while I'm chilling, and we all do this. Every single person on this planet does it, but there's the veil of forgetfulness. So very few of us remember what we actually do when we step out and we go floating around in space. Now we do this sometimes while other people are talking, and you're just like, oh well, and you're literally floating away. Yeah, you're literally out of your body, probably floating around in space. And then you come back and you're like, oh God, what did she say? I have no idea. Oh my God, I hate when I do that. But I was shuffling my cards. I was shuffling my cards a little bit too. But yeah, about the dissociating part, I was gonna go into that a little bit because my kids now, whenever they need me, of course, I'm always there.
Mhm.
Um, but because my presence wasn't there, I feel like I could have been there. I could have done better. And that's what I was talking about before. I wasn't like trying to say like we should be comparing ourselves and be better than or anything like that.
Mhm.
No, I'm just saying be better than who we used to be. Be
Mhm.
better than
Oh, no, I was just clarifying for myself, not for you.
but I was like I want to be better than like for even just for anyone else listening. Like I'm not really wanting to be better than anyone. I want to be better than me, like better
Yeah.
than who I used to be. Make better
Yeah,
choices
I agree.
for myself, not, and for my family too. Not that I'm comparing myself or anything, but I just compare myself to who I used to be, and I know I don't want to be like that. I know I don't want to scream and holler and spank my kids, and I
Oh, neither
just
do
don't.
I. It hurts me. I mean, think about the root chakra. Think about the suppression that we're doing to their little bodies right there. That correlates with the root chakra, the spanking on the bottom. So really the awakening process happens from bottom to top. So we are spiritually crippling them in a way by attacking the root chakra. And so we're making it out of alignment for them. And so I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah. And so I made that decision and I apologize to my kids now. I apologize to them when I'm wrong, when I feel like I've crossed the line, if I'm frustrated, because I'm not perfect. I have PMS, I have BPD, I have
We are
anxiety.
female and we have our hormones that make us, my husband says all the time, he's like, I never know which you I'm getting when I come home.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what, yes, exactly. Like I want to work on being the highest vibe that I can be.
Mhm.
Not not that we don't have bad days, not that we shouldn't feel the shadow,
Yeah, we're
but
not perfect.
goal is to be in gratitude and higher vibration and not stay. Who the hell wants to stay in lack and suffering? Honestly,
Not
who?
me.
I don't want to choose that. Right? You want to choose to be happy. I want to. And this takes me back. My guides just gave me this instance way back when I was dating. I had a boyfriend named Daryl. He was black. He was awesome. His name was Daryl Lee Lewis, and he has passed away from a stroke. He died at 37, and it really sucks. Anyways, he's the one that taught me how to build computers way back in the day, too. So, way back when Windows was a program running in DOS, I learned how to build computers. And, anyways, he taught me because I used to wake up grumpy and bitchy. And he's like, you don't have to wake up grumpy. He said, you can wake up happy. And I was like, and from that moment, I woke up happy. I was just, you know what? I don't really want to be a bitch first thing in the morning. I don't want to be that person. I would much rather be a happy person. I mean, my name is Joy, for God's sakes,
I know. How funny is that you'd be like a miserable person and your
Why
name's
am I a
Joy?
bitch? No, I'm not like the one on TV at all. Um, so I feel like, yeah, evolution is basically taking what been given in the past or how we used to be, and now just trying to be better and to be different and
Yeah, and
allow.
it's one situation at a time because they all come up and it comes back to the unhealed wounds. We're not going to, stop the bleeding just, as a metaphor, but we're not going to be able to stop the bleeding all at once. We're going to have to heal each little piece of it at a time when it comes up. So when my daughter pushes a button and I react, then later on, because I don't always catch myself, then later on I have an opportunity to look at it and then to come back to it and to make a better decision at that point. Sometimes I can make a better decision right away, but then there's other times where I do fly off the handle and I have to come back and I have to apologize or I have to reframe it or I have to, explain to her a different way of dealing with things. So it's a practice. It's just like, I'm a Reiki practitioner. I'm a Reiki practicer. I'm practicing with life. Everything's everything's trial and error.
And it's those positive affirmations too that just came to mind for me too. Is I've told like I remember telling my oldest, I'm proud of you. And just out of the peripheral, because I was driving out of the peripheral, I could just see her light up, you
Yeah.
know, when you say those positive things, and your kids need to hear that stuff. It's so fulfilling to the soul to hear positive affirmations. And especially for those of us who had a bunch of negative, shameful, guilty fucking affirmations.
Yes.
We don't want to do that.
No.
That carry those voices from the time, I think, gosh, what did I learn? I think the voices and how you talk to your kids up until like the age of 5 or 6, I think those are the voices that stay with them. Those are the voices we hear as an adult. The ones that say we're not good enough, the ones that say we could be thinner, the ones that say we're just not quite smart enough, the ones that say, I don't know, you can never be that because you could just never be that. And that's just not true. You can be whatever you choose to be. And the universe will back you up. But the point is when you're manifesting or you're setting your goal, the point is to set something for yourself and then make the decision. because once you make the decision, you give the universe the ability to work. But if you just sit on your idea and you don't make any changes
Mhm.
or set goals or take any action or put any energy towards that goal, it's not going to happen, and that's with the praying and wishing, oh God, please, I want this, can you please get me this house? No. If you want that house, you already know that you need to apply for that house, so you need to make a decision where you want to live, apply for the house, find out how you can get funding, and let the universe work. You can't, if
Well,
you don't do
put in a request, you know what I mean? Like, don't not ask for it, you know what I mean? But you have to make sure that you follow through. So, you're not just gonna say, God, give me this, and then, all of a sudden a house falls from the sky. This isn't the Wizard of Oz, you know? You'll be
although
the
it has
witch
happened.
you'll be the wicked witch underneath that's getting squished if you wish like that. So
I mean, it has happened. When I was in South Dakota, my previous marriage, I had been renting and renting and renting, and my parents were always renters. They were forever renters. So I really don't. I've never had that where it's mine, it's my home, and I've never had that. I just don't know what that feels like, and I would like to. So I'm like, I wanted, but it's just you got to find that place and then make the decision and follow through,
Mhm.
because
When
give God
I
room
had
to work.
so much fear with buying a house, and because I was raised with this mentality of like you'll never achieve anything. I don't know if that was ever said to me specifically, but it was kind of the feeling of you'll never be able to do anything that you want to do. Everything's too scary and there's too much. So I was always afraid, afraid of taking risks, afraid of reaching out. The idea of buying a house seems so enormous, and now I've bought two houses, and I'm dealing with a lot of financial debt, not because of the houses, but because of other things and my inability to understand finances and how all of that works. And now I'm
Matrix trying to hold on to you. That's all.
yeah, I know. Well, tell me about it. Yesterday, so we found out yesterday that my daughter has a missing adult tooth, which is hereditary. I have four missing adult teeth. And I have to wear a partial, and so she's going to have to do the same thing. So I'm looking at it, I'm going, okay, so in about 4 years, we'll be in a situation where we have about an extra $12,000 a year. So, look at the universe, or not the universe, but maybe the matrix, like you said, the matrix trying to pull you, keep you locked in. So, but at
But
least I have a lot of time to anticipate how much that's going to cost. So,
yeah, universe uses it all the time, for the good, but you have to give the universe space to work, because if you are in control of everything and you have to micromanage everything, it makes it hard for the universe to
you
come
could
in.
You could be pushing it away. You could be doing something, even just having a thought of worry or doubt could be pushing it away. So if you're so involved in every single detail, you're going to have so many thoughts of doubt that are coming in. That's why it's important to step back when you make a manifestation, when you're creating, because
I-
when you're too involved, you're putting too many energies into it. So we put the request out there and then we step back and detach from it, because
'Cause
if you're so attached to it, you're not actually allowing it to happen.
when you attach to it like that, you're literally you're repelling it from you. That it's just I don't know how to explain it, because it was a monk that explained it, so I don't know how to explain it, but he's like, the more you want something and you try to pull it closer, the farther away it gets.
Oh,
So you try to put that out there and just let it swing back to you, see. But if you hold the swing, you don't let the universe go and grab it for you and
yes.
back to you. You got to let it go and
This
send it.
reminds me of what I was talking to my husband about last night. We were talking about money, and I was telling him how, you know, I'm open, and I was doing a money affirmations meditation yesterday. And so I was just repeating those things to him, saying, I am open to all money. I am open to money flowing in. I am open to all forms of money coming to me now, coming to me in the future. And so I'm opening myself up to all of these different ways that money could come in, not just working for money, but money could come from my art. Somebody could feel inspired by something and want to put it on a cover of a book, all of these things. And my husband stops and he goes, money is the root of all evil. And I said, and that is exactly why money is hiding from you, because you think money's evil. You don't want to be evil. So what are you doing? You're pushing away the evil that you think is money. So I said, no, I am money. I am I
Is
am money is love. It's green. It's connected to the heart chakra, and it's connected to abundance. Gold is your solar plexus, so it's connected to your creation. So I am creating abundance in my life. So I'm changing. Money is not the root of all evil. Money is a tool that is used, and just like any other tool that we can manifest and we can pull into our lives, or we can push it away in our lives based on how we're looking at it. So it's important to change how we're seeing things.
Yeah, you said that, and I was like, I have this.
Yeah, no, I see you flashing. That's awesome.
I
Read it. I want to hear it.
I am a money magnet. Prosperity flows to and through me. I am worthy of increasing my income. I am good enough to be rich. Money flows to me in various ways. I release all negativity. I welcome in abundance mindset. I receive all the abundance of life. I embrace unique offers of income. I realize unlimited wealth in my life. I release negative financial energy. Money flows to me effortlessly. The world is a better place when I'm rich. I use my money in wise and fun ways. I love that one. The world is a better place when I'm rich. And that's real, because I'm the kind of person that if I had $100 billion, I wouldn't have $100 billion.
No, me either. I would have, oh my gosh, could you, okay, let's
So
just do this. Let's manifest for 1 second. Let's manifest what the world would look like real quick. Okay.
hold on.
So for me, it would be healing centers all over the world. It would be love and light centers and healing all over everywhere. I, light workers would come together and we would heal each other and heal the world, and we would come, I could see this, there would be so many self-sustaining communities, there would be so many beautiful things out there. We would have natural clean everything, and that's what I would do with billions of dollars if I was a billionaire. So I am rich. I am rich. I am rich in my heart. I'm rich with love, and love is money, and money is love for me. So I am manifesting that for the entire world right now.
Yes, we are. And we're manifesting this because the one thing that I thought of that I would love to do is to buy an apartment complex and then fix it. And I mean, like abandoned ones or whatever, and then fix it and then put the homeless in there and be like, there you go. I mean, they have there, it would be up to them to support their food or whatever it is they need to do. But as far as the house and the roof over their head and the water, paid.
Yeah. See, and I'm envisioning like a tree house community all over the world. We're just gonna live in trees.
I love that though. And you know what? Wherever, it's wherever they
Yeah.
want to live. But
Anywhere that anybody wants to live, but I definitely want to live in a tree house. That would be amazing.
like Swiss Family Robinson.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love that movie. It's one of my
God,
favorites.
I grew up with that movie. I
I know,
love.
me too. Me too. I mean, think about that. How perfect would that be? There's no money, there's no monetary system, there's no government. It's just people living in peace. I mean, until the pirates come at the end of the movie, but still, you
Oh
know,
yeah, they still win because of the coconut bombs and the monkey.
and their tiger and and those two dogs. I love those. Oh
The
my god.
tiger hit was awesome. Um,
People can see the good or the bad in anything when it comes to Disney or whatever, and it's like I choose to see the good
I
parts. You
way
know.
different. Way different. I mean, yes, the truth is that he worked with Werner von Braun, and that is someone that was hired back in Operation Paperclip. If you want to look into that, please do, because that will answer a lot of questions about what's going on today.
Yeah, I've
Anyway,
heard some things about Walt Disney being like a 33rd degree Mason, stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what? Really, at the end of the day, if that's what he was, then he brought a lot of joy to my life, regardless of the things that might have been underlying, because they didn't affect me the way that maybe they were intended to.
well,
I can take the joy or I can take the pain depending on how I'm looking at things. So, there's good and bad in the world everywhere, and to condemn something, in one light or the other, but everybody's got to do their own thing, whatever resonates with them. So just for me, there's a lot of joy.
I wanted to touch on I was watching somebody that was doing, how do I want to say it? They were doing videos about other teachers, like putting them under a microscope. What am I trying to say? Like picking them apart, analyzing them, pointing things out. And I'm just like, isn't that what we are all supposed to do for ourselves? Mm-hmm. Isn't that why we have bad people in this world, so that we can say, I don't want to do that, and don't do that? I mean, I've had people in my journey that weren't positive. I'll just put it that way.
But and they taught you how to be positive.
They taught me what I don't want in their life. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense. I don't want that in my life.
Are you going to do a card read? Because I've got to run real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, you go ahead and do that. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem. I drew these 6 cards earlier. So let me just tap into that. I feel like the first card I got was patience. And I feel like on a collective basis right now, we're all sitting and waiting right now. Because we know what's coming. Something big's coming. We're getting ready to birth. She's pregnant. She's pregnant with ideas. She's pregnant with thoughts and beliefs. And also completion. And this goes along with what Becky was talking about the other day, with God being a puzzle. And we're all just a piece of the puzzle. That's what came to mind when I looked at that one. Ordinariness, which is also the 8 of Pentacles. And I feel like we have been if you're watching this part of the show, then I feel like, or it's you. We've all been sitting around waiting. Who am I kidding? We have been patient. We've been dealing with and saving and stocking up, and we're just waiting for things to happen. But I feel like right now things are starting to fall into place. And even though we're going to get this is a what?
Honey, go.
Thunderbolt is, what am I trying to say? Tower. It's the Tower card. Look at all those people. Look at that fire.
Oh, Tower. Everything's falling.
Yeah.
Destruction of the old, the bringing in the new. Look at it.
Yeah, says her bringing in the new world. She's pregnant. She's ready. She's filled with ideas and new energy and life. And
oh, that reminds me of my mother saying that when she was pregnant with me, she asked for patience or she told the nun she prayed for patience, and then the nun said, "Don't do that."
Pray for patience. Yeah, I learned that. My mom taught me that. But I also went to a lot of retreats and stuff. I learned a lot, man. There was a lot, and I loved it. I loved going to those retreats. But yeah, we're experiencing a tower moment on the collective, you guys. There's a lot of people that have been holding on to ideals and old ideas, old ways of living, old systems, people, places, things, jobs, perceptions, ideas, expectations, attachments. God, I probably said that 50 times.
You've got to clear the way. You have to clear the way of the old things. Like if you're building something, you're not going to build right on top of something that's still there. No, you have to clear the foundation. You have to clear the ground and start fresh. You have to start new. Yes. I mean, you see so many of these underground cities that are just built on top of. Think about the amount of energy that is stored under there. So for all of this, for what we're working on, we need to clear it completely away, start over fresh, wipe the slate clean.
So, let the things die and let the old ideas die. Let the old ways of being die. Let the old ideals die and move on, because where we're headed, I feel like we're just going to be a lot more comfortable. It's just Whether people are happy right away or not is to be seen, but I know that we're all going to be living a lot more comfortable. That is a fact.
And whether we see it in our lifetime or not, I don't know, because I've asked that question. Am I going to see this in my lifetime? And I don't get a clear answer on that. So, and if you think about it, think about 2000 years ago, who, somebody who got messages and had to do a really dirty job, if you know what I'm saying, had to go through quite a bit of pain. But 2000 years ago, his name is still talked about every day by millions and millions and billions of people. So, just because something has or is not going to happen in our lifetime doesn't mean that what we're doing is not important. So I'm not, I'm sure you can see who I or know who I was talking about, but you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't necessarily have to be in our lifetime. That's not why we're doing this work. Yes, I can live in a new earth in heaven in my current world, but to see it on a grand scale in the world, if that happens in my lifetime, that would be wonderful. But that I can't put expectations on the universe for that. I don't know. I'm not putting a timeline on things because I think that puts expectations on people to say tomorrow we're going to wake up and it's going to be a new reality. Well, it might not be tomorrow for everyone. It might be tomorrow for some of the collective, but it might not be tomorrow for all of us. And so we can't put that expectation on timing.
I don't know. I feel like when I tap into source energy, when I tap into source energy about this subject, this is what I get back. Every single time I get back the same thing. It's the same energy.
Mhm.
It is already happening, and we're the ones that create that. So honestly, if we're asking, who are we asking? We're asking ourselves if it's going to happen in our lifetime.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, if you want it to happen in this lifetime, it's going to happen in this lifetime. And I would say about what 99% of the spiritual community wants it to happen.
Mhm.
So on some level, it's going to happen
Mhm.
in our lifetime.
When it is happening, that's the thing. We just have to step
We
back.
see it now as far as the crystal cities and that kind of stuff that people have seen in the future, who that's yet to be seen, and that's probably way in the future. So yeah, more than likely not in this lifetime. But as far as the shift, it's already occurring.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
people are
We just have
shifting,
to step back and look.
being
Mhm.
being activated. The people that were meant to not be here they're
Well,
leaving.
and I've seen these things on Facebook where they show like New Earth splitting into two, like old Earth and New Earth, like split no two different dimensions. Like, but I'm experiencing like a shift like that where I'm seeing like two different moons. I can see through the moon and see another moon. I can see through the sun and see another sun. And so where I'm seeing a splitting and a shifting of the timelines happening, if I look at it with my third eye, I'm seeing that happen now. And then it has a lot to do with being present and staying in the moment too, and not putting my thoughts on it, just watching and seeing these things happen. So
No,
yeah.
it's true. And it is happening. The dimensions are, my personal belief is they're not separating. Source said they're coming together. It's
Maybe
basically
that's
become
what it is.
in the science community a singularity.
Mhm.
So it's becoming a
That
singularity.
makes more sense if you think about it as opposed to being a polarity coming to oneness. You know what I mean? Because we have been two different things. We've been good and bad. We've been the false moon and the real moon, the false sun and the real sun, the flat earth and the round earth. You know what I mean? Maybe it's time that we come together and be one earth, one moon, one sun, one spirit, one God.
And the truth is, we are all
Many,
one.
many in the one and the one in the many. Not saying that one path is the right path. I'm saying that we're all one
We're
and
all
connected through our different
uh,
paths.
um something I was watching or I listened to or something before I came on was we were talking. Oh, it was the divine. It was the divine feminine reading that I was listening to. Um, and she said that we are literally walking on the path that's less chosen, the narrow path. And I've known that for a very long time. I've known that I'm on the narrow path
Mhm.
for since I was a teenager. I've known that. Um, But at the same time, you know, I've seen God work in bad and good. I've been bad and good in this life too. I've been the good person, and
Oh
I've
yeah,
been
me too. I
like,
mean, before my near death experience, I was a total narcissist. I mean, I was a completely different person. Um, whether I had a walk in and a walk out, experience, I don't know. I can't say anything factually on that, but I can tell you that who I was before I died, or I mean, because I consider that I had a death, whether my body actually died or not, I don't know, but um, it was close enough to where I left and I was with spirit. But who I was before that and then who I am now are completely different people.
I just got
Um,
it from Doctor Strange, because in the movie Doctor Strange, where when he's standing in front of her and he's like, that's voodoo, that's, you know, hoopla, and then she's like, boom, and he flies out of his body, he becomes a different fucking person, doesn't he?
mm,
He is a completely different person when he comes back into that body. And I feel like that's how all of us are. Like, we're all getting knocked out of our fucking bodies and
mhm,
then back into it, to be a different person, you
mm,
know, not to carry the same stupid shit with us. We don't want that. And you know what? I've chosen what I don't want to go forward with me, you know?
mhm,
And I think that that's what the baddies do. But they're still necessary. And I feel like it's a waste of time to sit around and pick out somebody and just pick them apart for their shortcomings, when we all have shortcomings and we all make mistakes. And this is a path of evolution. So if
yeah.
we're judging someone on a video they created a year
We're
ago,
judging ourselves in a different incarnation in someone else. So, we're separating. We're causing more separation in ourselves.
I
And
feel like it's a waste of time. Now, to discern what you feel is positive and you want in your life and not what
yeah.
you don't want in your life, that's all it is.
Yeah,
There's
because we have choices. We have the choice whether we wanna have someone in our life based on their energy, not because, we're condemning them, but because it makes us feel good or it doesn't make us feel good. So, I mean, because that's how I work. If somebody makes me not feel good, I don't wanna be around them, not because I'm better or worse, but because it doesn't make me feel
uh,
a certain way, and I don't want to feel that way. So, it has nothing to do with, better than or worse than. It's,
wasn't at all, because um when yeah, I don't know where my thought just went. Oh well, it must not have been important.
well.
I'm back. Are you coming back? No. Oh, I think it had to do with New Vision. Is it? Mm, I think we're wrapping it up, because my brain quiet, and I know when I'm quiet, then I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, it got quiet outside. It's not raining anymore. So
Let's see. Um,
I think we're doing pretty good. We're at 77.
oh, 17. Yeah, 117, and 117 is actually the exit you take off the 10 when you get here to come to where I am. 17 is huge in my, oh man, I get 17, 11. Let's see, 11, 11, 7, 9,
Mhm.
222, you name it, all day long.
Yeah.
I get them so much I don't even write them down anymore. Like, they were super super duper significant, and sometimes they are still too.
Mhm.
I love getting synchronicities and
Yeah.
feathers and stuff. Awesome.
Yep. So, all right. Well, I think we did pretty good. I hope it turned out. I already shared it on my Facebook. I don't know if you have because there's a little thing. So I'll go on there and share it on my group, and then you can share it wherever you want to share it.
I'll keep it and stuff.
Um,
And
hopefully, we can do some more of these. I know I sometimes I'm in my hot tub and I don't necessarily want everybody watching me while I'm in my bathing suit. So we'll
you don't
still
have to, but I'll figure something out. In the meantime, maybe some kind of recording service other than Zoom, because I hate having timers. Like, I don't want to be timed, because I never know how long spirit wants me to speak, and
Mhm.
it's just going to be heard or whatever. I want to be flexible. I like that flexibility, you
Yeah.
know.
Well, hopefully, if anybody's listening, that you enjoy this and, actually seeing us. Let us know in the
Yes.
comments whether you like the video of us actually in person or, just listening to us. I know the answer already. I'm not gonna ask that question.
I don't want
But
to know what it is.
leave us comments. Find us on our links, which I'm sure Joy will add to the video when we're done here. We'd be happy to hear from you. And yeah, that's it for me today. Thank you guys.
We'll see you later.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.
How do I end it? I don't know.
I don't know. There's a little X in the corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.